Come close. Come close. Take a good look. Does that look expensive? Because, girl, that's expensive. Girl, let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Wonderfully Made. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your day to spend it with me. Well, child, let's talk about this face, okay? Let's talk about it. 2025 is my panning year. I am determined to get my money's worth from my makeup this year. And this project is called That's Expensive. If you're not familiar with the That's Expensive pan project, it was created, if I'm not mistaken, by Misty Pans, but I'm going to put all the information as to who created this project pan in the description section below. There are a lot of YouTubers who are a part of the panning community that participate in this project yearly. The idea is that you want to take the most expensive products out of your collection and use them. Get your money's worth. Now, expensive is subjective, okay? It's whatever is expensive to you. We're not judging what's expensive and what's not expensive. Some people like drugstore products. Some people like high-end products. Some people like luxury products. It does not matter. The idea is, if you spent your hard-earned money on products, we're not saving our products for special occasions this year, okay? Every day you wake up breathing is a special occasion. Okay. And so I went and pulled out the most expensive products in every category. I created this look with it. I'll link that video in the cards, so if you want to check that out. I don't know why I didn't start panning projects years ago. It is really allowing me the opportunity to get reacquainted with my makeup collection, some things that's just been, sitting idle in my collection, collecting dust. And I have thoroughly been enjoying using my products. So anyway, guys, we're gonna get started with primer. Now, the most expensive primer in my collection is this. And if you've watched more than 2 videos of mine, then you've seen this in use many times. I love it. I hate that I love it because it's so stinking expensive. But guys, I think I might have to buy it when I run out because I'm almost out of it and I don't know. This stuff is so good. It's the Sisley Double Tensor Primer. And I'm not going to kid you, I only have a little bit left, and so I'm going to save it for special occasions because nothing that I own makes my foundation last as long as this. It just, I don't know, it just does something to the foundation. I don't care if I use a drugstore foundation with this or a high-end foundation with this. It morphs into something special. I'm gonna go with my Dior for this project. And this is the Dior Dream Skin Care and Perfect Global Age Defying Skincare Perfect Skin Creator. Oh my goodness, long name, but this is what that looks like. Now, these two together, dream team. But this alone is really nice. It's actually a multi-purpose type of product. You can use it as a serum or a moisturizer. I love using it under makeup. It just creates a really smooth canvas for the foundation to go on. Now, it is mattifying, so typically when I use this, I really moisturize my skin very, very well. So my goal for this is to use it up. Now, my most expensive foundations are not opened, so I'm not going to use them. I'm gonna use my most expensive foundation that is actually open, and I'm going to try to use it up. But my most expensive foundation in my collection is La Mer. Okay, however, this is the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation, and I wear the shade 14.5. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it looks like I'm about somewhere right here in this foundation, and I'm gonna try to mark everything, but the goal is to use this foundation up. For concealer, I have my Dior Skin Correct concealer, and this is in the shade 4.5N. Yes, 4.5N. My goal for this is to use it up as well. If you look closely, you can kind of see like where, you know, there's some like empty space there. So I know I don't have much left in this, so I'm going to try to use it up. For my under eye setting powder, I'm going to use my By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra powder, and I just have it in the translucent color. I've had this for a while and it's just been in the box, so I finally opened it. I used to love this, and they actually came out with different shades of this powder, but a little bit goes a long way. It's so smoothing and hydrating. I love this powder, so I was so happy to pull this out. My goal for this powder is not going to be to use it up. I'm going to try to use it, you know what, I'm going to keep this in my everyday drawer for the remainder of the year and commit to using this at least once a week. For my cream bronzer, I have my Chanel Lace Beiges bronzer, and this is the deepest shade. This is what it looks like. And I do use this, but I certainly haven't been using it enough. This is getting a little bit old, so I do want to get as much use out of this as I can. This bronzer is really close to my skin tone, so it doesn't give me a whole lot of contrast, but just enough. So I'm going to commit to using this at least once a week. And I'm saying once a week, but if I use this once a week for a year, that's 52 uses. So basically, I'm going to try to use this about 50 times. Either once a week or at least 50 times. If I use it 50 times, you know, within the next couple of months, then I'll roll it out. For my powder bronzer, I have my Guerlain Terracotta bronzer, and I have it in the shade 07. And I forgot to use this today, but this is what it looks like. This is a very subtle bronzer, but when I put it on top of the Chanel bronzer, it definitely brings the warmth out of that Chanel bronzer, and it provides a bit more contrast when I use these together. But I haven't used this one in a while, so I'm going to try to use this at least 50 times as well. Powder. My most expensive all over face powder is my Chanel powder, but I use that all the time. So I wanted to get something that I haven't used, and I think I've only used this maybe 2 times. I did use it today. I forgot the name of this, and I don't have my glasses on so I can't see, but this is my Lancome all over face powder. I have it in the shade Deep, but it's, even though it has some color in there, it's still very lightweight. It's still very sheer, but when I used it today, it reminded me how much I really like it. So I'm definitely going to put this to use again, 50 uses or once a week for the remainder of the year. For my contour, I have my Tom Ford Shade Illuminating Power Duo in the shade 06 Flicker. And this is what that looks like. And as you can tell, the contour shade is a bit cooler than the bronzer. I use the bronzer for warmth and the contour for exactly what it says, to contour, to really chisel out the cheeks or the nose so that, you know, my face looks a little bit more snatched. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I used this at all in 2024. If I did, maybe only a couple of times. So I really enjoyed using this today. And I am going to use the highlighter, but for this project, I did pull out my Dior. This is the Dior Nude Air Illuminizer in the shade 001. I love this highlighter. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. And you can still see the Dior embossing in it. And I've used this a ton. I haven't used it lately. I love it because it's not glittery. It's just a really nice sheen. And it's so pretty. I love it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it just gives a really nice subtle glow on the cheeks, and I love this. So I'm definitely going to put this to use. For this product, I'm just going to give myself 10 usages, and then I'll roll it out and use a different highlighter. But yeah, that's that. So for my cream blush, I pulled out this Natasha Denona Bloom palette. What's it called? The Bloom Blush and Glow palette. And so I'll be using this cream blush right here. Love that blush. It is so pretty. It's so pigmented too. It's like I have to be careful when I use it. I'm already, you know, I already go a little crazy when I'm wearing blush, so I definitely have to be very careful. But it blends really nicely, so I really enjoyed this blush. My goal for this one, I do have a little bit of a dip in there. I don't know if you can see it. So, do I want to try to hit pan on this? Ooh, ooh, girl, do you want to try to hit pan on this? Can we? Should we? Let's go for it. I'm going to try to hit pan on this cream blush. Ooh, let's see. We might be able to do it, girl. We might be able to do it. Let's try. And for my powder blush, I pulled out my Tom Ford blush in the shade Disclosure. And this is what that looks like. You see, it still has the TF on there. It still has the embossing on it. That goes to show you how often I use these products. That's the thing. When you have so much, it's like you really don't get to fully enjoy it because you're using it, you know, 2 or 3 times and then you're on to the next thing. But this year, no, I want this. I want the embossing gone. I want to, you know, see some pans. I just want my stuff to feel like it has been used and loved. Okay, so, and I adore this blush. I love the way my cheeks came out today, even though I think I blended it away a little bit too much, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. No such thing as too much blush for me. Okay? Clown me. Let me look like a clown. Clown me. Okay? Next thing. For eyeshadow primer, I have this Tom Ford Primer Duo. This is also getting old, but it's still creamy. It's still, you know, good. I used it today. You have the eyeshadow base there. And then on top, you have a little powder to set the eyeshadow base. So I am going to be using that. I used it today on it. As you can see, I have a pretty good dip in there. So I'm going to try to hit pan on this. Now for eyeshadows, I pulled out 2 palettes to start with. I pulled out my Viseart Grand Pro Volume 1 palette, which is basically every shade of every matte shade that I could possibly need. This is what that looks like. I love these eyeshadows and I haven't used them in a while, but I pulled it out because I am also going to try to do a no pan left behind with this Natasha Denona purple blue eyeshadow palette. And this is what that looks like. And that is what I am wearing today. I reach for the brown green one or green brown one all the time, or more often than this one. So I really want to try to get some good use out of this one before, you know, I end up having to get rid of it. And so far the eyeshadows are still very much in good condition. They work well, they perform the way they're supposed to. And so yeah, so far so good. It's not irritating on the eyes or anything. And I do try to sanitize my eyeshadows regularly. This does not have very many matte eyeshadows in it, and the matte shades that are in this eyeshadow palette are not shades that I gravitate towards, and they're certainly not shades that I would use for transitions, you know, for a transitional shade. So these 2 palettes to start with. Like I said, I am going to try to do the no pan left behind, which means I need to use every shade in this palette at least once. And I already used let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades just for this look today. So, oh, I forgot to mention my finishing powder. I have my La Mer finishing powder, and my goal for this powder is to use it up. I don't know if you can see how much is in there, but it's definitely half gone already. So I'm definitely going to use this at least once a week, but preferably multiple times a week. I also am trying to use up my Guerlain Meteorites. That is part of my deck of panning project. I use that as a finishing powder as well. So between the 2 of them, I am good to go for the year. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to use them up this year. For my brows, I pulled out the Dior All in Brow 3D palette. Oh. And that's the Dior. This needs to be cleaned. But this is what that looks like. And the top is broken. That's why I'm holding it funny. But this is what it looks like. This is actually like a pomade, like a little cream pomade to kind of tame the brows. And then these 2 shades are powder products. I am using it today. My goal for this is to, you know what? Let's go for it. We're just going to be ambitious, okay? We're going to be ambitious with this project. I'm going to try to hit pan on this shade right here. And then finally, lips. Of course, you know I had to pull out the Christian Louboutin. This is my Christian Louboutin lipstick in the shade, what is this called? Zulu. This is what Zulu looks like. And this is what it looks like swatched on my hand. I use this fairly often. I probably should have pulled out the red one, you know, because that's the one I use the least, because, you know, I'm just not a huge red lipstick girl. I don't know why I have so many red lipsticks, but okay. I definitely want to rotate through my lipsticks this year. I just recently decluttered my lipsticks. I had over 300 lip products. If you want to see that video of my lip product, lipsticks, lip glosses, etc. collection, I'll link it in the cards below. Feel free to check that out. But I did cut my lip products down to about half, maybe a little more than half. But you know, those are cream products, so I do want to rotate through those more often than I need to rotate through the powder products. So for this lipstick, I want to use it. These Christian Louboutin lipsticks are old, but they're still good. They don't even, you know how when you can tell when they're old when they start smelling like crayons, but it doesn't. It just smells like a regular lipstick. And so I'm going to use this. I can commit to using this 20 times because I can pair this with other lipsticks. And then I'm going to try to use up my Chanel lip gloss, and this one is in the shade 712, and I actually have two of these. I don't know how I ended up with two of the same color, so I'm going to try to use this one up. So those are all of my products for my That's Expensive project pan. For the most part, people who participate in this project pick, I think, 8 to 10 items. I decided to pull out everything I would need to create a full face using the most expensive items in my collection. And so hopefully I can get a lot of use out of this stuff, and I'm excited, and I think this is something I can, you know, I can do every day. This is good. I could wear this to work. I could wear this to court. I could wear this look to church, you know. Now some of those blues in this palette, girl, I don't know what we're gonna do. So anyway, enough of that. Thank you again for stopping by. If you want to follow along with me on this journey to use the things that I spent my hard-earned money for this year, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like these types of videos. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I post a video. And as always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and He loves you. And I'll see you in the next video.